Good evening and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Jennifer Bellamy. It has been a historic weather day. We have experienced the first measurable snow here in Atlanta in 7 years. And now the cleanup continues tonight as we continue to experience the weather conditions. We have brought you team coverage of this weather blast, this winter blast all day. But we're going to begin tonight with our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb. So, Chris, are we out of the woods yet, or is there still more ahead that we need to be aware of?
We are seeing some big improvements out there right now as far as precipitation is concerned. And that's what I'm talking about, of what is falling out of the sky. That is beginning to wrap up. We went through phases. We had the snow phase this morning, the winter mix phase late morning into the afternoon, and then the freezing rain phase late afternoon into the evening. That is the part that's wrapping up right now. You can see the greens and the pink colors there showing the rain and the winter mix that is moving over to the east. And so we're going to see all of that ending here tonight. We still have some clouds. There may be a little bit of mist and drizzle, and that could be freezing mist and drizzle as our temperatures are still hovering right around the freezing mark. But once we can get this moisture out of here, there won't be anything new falling from the sky. But what could still be dangerous is what is already on the ground that is still going to be slippery overnight and through the morning hours tomorrow too. In fact, let me show you what we're watching out there right now. You can see these temperatures, how we are close to freezing in Atlanta, just above freezing, Marietta just above freezing, so is Peachtree City, and then above freezing temperatures in LaGrange and Thomaston. Duluth is freezing, Canton is below freezing, Athens is at freezing. So these are the areas where we still need to watch for some of that slippery stuff, and we'll be seeing temperatures we think below freezing here tomorrow morning when we can see a little more coverage of those slick spots that we are going to have around. So some improvement as we go through the day tomorrow, and then maybe a little bit more on Sunday. Melissa Nord and I will be back in just a few moments explaining when we'll see some of that melting taking place.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in just a bit. And we want to send things out now to 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn. He has been live for us this evening from Alpharetta, right across from the Avalon. So, Cody, what are the conditions looking like there?
Well, Jennifer, you heard Chris just talk about that drizzle. That's what we're seeing really right now here in Alpharetta. The temperatures hovering around the freezing mark. The road surface temperatures also hovering around the freezing mark. And I'll tell you, anything that was touched by that freezing rain earlier covered in ice tonight. You can see the trees here, solid ice on all of these branches. The bushes are covered in ice here too. That's really what we are seeing. I'm telling you again, when I talk about everything covered in ice, I mean, it gives frozen pizza a new meaning here. As you see the trash even iced over here. But the big concern tonight, besides the roads again, is the falling trees. Take a look at this area we went to just a couple hours ago. We were actually sitting at a nearby gas station and heard the commotion when this tree went down. This is along Wills Road there. Fortunately, Public Works here in Alpharetta got to work. They cleaned this up pretty fast. And again, this is the concern tonight, these trees bringing down power lines, but it's also the roads. You heard Chris say these temperatures are going to drop overnight. Alpharetta police say even for experienced drivers, this ice is no joke.
Oh my gosh, I grew up around the snow. I can drive in that. I get it. You know what, brothers and sisters, you can drive in the snow. But to answer your question, you look at this right now. I mean, this is wet, this is rain, it's freezing right now. You know what's gonna happen, right? This is gonna freeze up this evening into the morning. And at the end of the day, I don't care how much experience you have, you know, in the Northeast, ice is ice, you know. So, you know, this is gonna freeze, so we tell you just to please, you know, be careful.
And if there is any slush left on the roads or sidewalks, they are icing over. You can see tonight that's what's happening here. It's only going to continue. The road here, this is Old Milton Parkway. Again, that black ice, you can't really see that, so these looks are deceiving. The best bet, get home tonight if you're not already there. Stay there and give yourself some extra time in the morning. Delay any driving you have to. You're getting out. If you're walking down your stairs, be prepared for that ice or your driveway. And Melissa Nord, she's back in the studio. Melissa, one thing we've been watching is those power outages. We've seen a lot even here in North Fulton, a lot from those trees coming down.
That's right. And at the peak, Cody, we had seen at times over 120,000 customers without power here in Georgia. And you can see where they're most highly concentrated. This map shows you the total right now over 115,000. And it's right here in the metro where we've seen the highest numbers, including Clayton County with over 12,000 power outages. Let me show you a little bit more and talk about the different power companies. Georgia Power right now, the numbers have come down about 6,000 in the last hour. That's good news. That means they have the crews out. It's just taking them a long time to restore the power. Still over 70,000 customers here in North Georgia without power from Georgia Power. Walton EMC in Walton County, almost 5,000, 4,000 in Jackson, and Coweta Fayette, about 3,700 customers without power. And you know what? It doesn't take a lot of ice. We had a quarter of an inch of ice, some strong gusty winds this evening, and that was enough to cause all those power outages. That's weighing down the trees, weighing down the power lines. And look what happens to our wind gusts tomorrow. By the time you wake up at sunrise, the strong gusty winds are building in again. These are not wind advisory criteria gusts, but gusts to 25 miles per hour, adding more stress on those power lines, on the tree limbs that are being weighed down by that ice. That is enough to cause concern for additional power outages, especially the first half of the day tomorrow before we get the temperatures above freezing and start to see some decent melting. So Jennifer, this is one of those things we'll be watching closely tomorrow. Hopefully these numbers won't go up more as cold temperatures settle in overnight tonight.
Yeah, we want folks to be at home and warm. Melissa, thank you so much. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido has been out on the roads for us all evening. She is joining us now from Lawrenceville in Gwinnett County. Angelina, what are you seeing there?
Well, Jennifer, Gwinnett County Police have been out here patrolling throughout the evening and into the night as different incidents continue to arise because of the freezing rain and the ice that has formed with the temperatures dropping. This is one of the main ones here out of the 4 that they've responded to so far. A tree down on the roadway here at Alcovy Drive and Alcovy Lane. That is because of the weight of the ice from this freezing rain as the temperature dropped here. And it's another reason why the warming shelters were open today. We were there just hours ago talking to people who said they needed to be there in order to stay safe.
It'd be really wakey, you know, it's sleepless, you know. That would be just like a nightmare, you know. I couldn't see myself doing it, you know. It's great to have a place like this, you know. People just don't know how thankful they are.
It's a place to, again, belong. Many of them are just trying to find where they're going next. But where we're trying to do is find that place to ground. I definitely think we will be seeing the increase tonight for sure. What we ended up doing was changing from our normal shift to actually doing double shifts because we didn't also want to put our attendants at risk to be traveling in the overnight. We know that it's going to be a little dangerous.
Now, I want you guys to take a look at what it looked like earlier today. This is some video that we had shot earlier. You can see that there was clearly some slushy roads, even some cars being abandoned there as the snow continued to fall, but then it easily turned into that wintry mix that we were seeing. When we talk about outages in Gwinnett County, we were seeing over 200 outages, leaving 5,000 customers in the dark. That, of course, is going to continue throughout the night. Back out here live, we're here at this incident on Alcovy Drive and Alcovy Lane. You're taking a look at the crews that just arrived here in the distance to make sure that they remove this tree before the morning, before people wake up and try to make it out of their homes. That is a reminder for you guys to just be careful as you wake up in the morning. You don't know what you're going to encounter, so give yourself some time as the sun comes up. We're live tonight in Lawrenceville. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Some really good advice there, Angelina. Thank you so much. We're taking a live look now on the tarmac over at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. This winter weather made it a rough go at the world's busiest airport. At least 2 ground stops were put in place today, leading to hundreds of delays and more than 1,400 cancellations across the country. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines saying it's seen around 800 of its flights scrubbed as a result of this storm. And the company says more adjustments to its flight schedule are possible throughout the weekend. We have spent all day speaking with people trying to make it to their destinations. That included one woman headed to Detroit who wasn't scared by this night of our snow.
We could either wait or get on the road and make some progress.
Yeah.
Have you seen the road?
Well, we're from Michigan, so to us it's like, what?
Well, airport officials say anyone planning to fly out of Hartsfield-Jackson this weekend should keep a close eye on their airline's social media channels, emails, and apps for any possible updates. Well, one flight that tried to leave Atlanta today was forced to abort its takeoff. 4 passengers on board Delta Flight 2668 headed to Minneapolis were injured after being forced to evacuate. We're told the aborted takeoff was due to an engine issue. Passengers evacuated the plane using emergency slides and were taken to a nearby concourse. One of the injured passengers was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Today's snow was a bit on the heavy side, and it can be difficult for some to shovel it off of patios and driveways. The American Heart Association considers snow shoveling as a strenuous physical activity which can result in undue stress. That risk of a heart attack is higher for people with certain conditions like existing heart disease, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. We spoke with Dr. Sujatha Reddy at the Northside Hospital, who says many people underestimate the physical strain and potential dangers of this common winter chore.
So if you're not very physically fit or much more used to a sedentary lifestyle, shoveling snow is like going out there and trying to run, a 10K race, because it uses a lot of cardio strength and fitness that you may or may not have.
Well, if you do need to shovel all of that snow, Dr. Reddy reminds you to dress warmly in layers to help maintain body flow. You also want to stay hydrated, warm up, and stretch before shoveling to prevent any injuries. Tackle shoveling in small portions and take regular breaks to avoid overexertion. And don't forget, you can stay weather aware by downloading the 11 Alive News app. You just scan that QR code right there on your screen. You can download it for free, and then you can sign up for severe weather alerts so you're always prepared no matter where you are.